Hello, this is Judd Vance, bonding with board games. You might know me from ham tag videos. You may know me hanging out front of Mark Herman's door seeking audience. You are about to witness Dan Pancaldi, fellow connoisseur of the world's greatest prog band, wargame extraordinaire. Brace yourselves, you're about to enter No Enemies Here.
HOLLANDSPIELE and game designer Brian Train's new game, Volume 2, District Commander, Binh Dinh, Vietnam, 1969. This is an operational game for 2 players of medium complexity. The duration of the game should last you 120 minutes. And what you get with this game is a 17 by 22 inch map sheet, 264 counters, 2 display sheets, 1 player aid, a 16-page series rulebook, an 8-page module rulebook, and 10 strategy cards. Strategy and Tactics Press, Modern War issue number 46, the Game Edition. The game featured is Foreign Legion Paratroopers, a solitaire war game. And what you get with this game is a 22 by 34 inch map and 176 counters. GMT and Apocalypse Road, a game designed by Jeff and Carla Horger. Apocalypse Road uses the same engine as Thunder Alley. Actually, this is the first game that STUKAJOE and I ever collaborated on, and what a memory. But anyways, damage is not a hindrance in Apocalypse Road. You are either functional or you are not. So having 2 damage is no less debilitating than 5 damage on a car. Taking 6 damage renders a car into a pile of twisted, smoking metal. Anything less, and you're good to go! Complexity is medium, solitaire suitability is low. Welcome to the first GMT Weekend Monthly Update today. Figure that out. Into the Woods, the Battle of Shiloh. This is the 8th installment of the Great Battles of the Civil War, designed by Richard Whitaker. Fire in the Lake, Truong Bot Update Pack. I hope I said that right. The bot design is by Bruce Mansfield. The game design is by Volko Runke and Mark Herman. Congress of Vienna. This is a Frank Esparago game. This game is based on Mark Herman's The Churchill System. Red Flag over Paris, a Fred Serval game. 1871, the rise and fall of the Paris Commune. This is the spiritual successor to Mark Herman's Fort Sumter. Red Storm Baltic Approaches. First expansion to GMT's Red Storm game, designed by Douglas Bush. Seas of Thunder. This is a game designed by Jeff Horger, the designer of Thunder Alley and Grand Prix, Charles Mayer, and Neil Chbosky. Conquest and Consequence, which uses the Triumph and Tragedy system to the Pacific East Asia Theater, a game designed by Greg Bisson. Space Corps Venture. This is the first module to the game by John Butterfield. Space Corps. The Weimar Republic is a game of political struggle of interwar Germany, designed by Gunnar Hornbach. Ancient Civilizations of the Middle East, designed by Christopher Vorder-Bruges and Mark McLaughlin. China's War, 1937-1941. This is a coin game, volume number 12, designed by Brian Train. The Fall of Saigon, the expansion for Fire in the Lake, by Mark Herman and Volko Ronke. The Last 100 Yards, a Mike Denson game. This is volume 2, Airborne over Europe. Wing Leader Origins, 1936 to 1942, Lee Brigham Wood's third expansion for the Wing Leader series. Wing Leader Origins is about interwar, early war aircrafts of the Malta campaign. Combat Commander Pacific, plus the 6 battle packs, which are Paratroopers, Stalingrad, Normandy, New Guinea, Fall of the West, and what Hitler tried but couldn't, Sea Lion. This series was designed by the late Chad Jensen. Next War North Korea 2nd edition, plus the supplement number 2 concerning the following games in the Next War series: Korea, Taiwan, India, Pakistan, and Poland. MBT 4CMBG. Now you're probably asking, what does that stand for? Well, I'm here to tell you. It stands for the 4th Canadian Mechanized Brigade Group. You always wanted to know. Stalingrad 42, a Mark Simonich game. Southern Russia, June to December 1942. Twilight Struggle 7th edition by Anara Gupta and Jason Matthews. Command in Color Napoleonics 4th printing, a Richard Borg game. Navajo Wars by Joel Toppin, a history of the American Southwest 1598 to 1864, 2nd printing. Tank Duel, Mike Bertuccelli's Tank Duel, Enemy in the Crosshairs. Now, if I attend WBC, hopefully, we're going to be playing this like little tournament thing. Mark Herman, John Butterfield are supposed to get into it with the Player Aid guys. I'm obviously going to play against the Player Aid guys. Wing Leader Eagles, 1943 and 1945, and Wing Leader Victories, 1940 to 1942, 2nd edition. This is a series by Lee Brigham Wood. The Chief and Bonding with Board Games has Judd Vance on, talking about his development with France 1944, a game designed by Mark Herman. Also, he has another video called Ham Tag Light, Top 5 Expensive War Games. You want to know what's happening on the big board? I'll tell you what's happening on the big board. Kevin Big Man is checking out Atlanta Is Ours, a game designed by Ed Beach, Mike Bellis, and Chris Withers, published by MMP. Also, the CEO gives us a 14-minute look at Rise of the Roman Republic. This is a game by Richard Burr, published by GMT. Poindexter has Gregory M. Smith's Interceptor Ace, and he's doing a playthrough, part 4, called Little Friends. ARDWULF of ARDWULF'S Lair is unboxing a game by Ed Beach called Stonewall's Last Battle, the Chancellorsville campaign. This is an old game from 1996, published by Avalon Hill. Artie also gives us an introduction to the great campaigns of the American Civil War. Also, Ardwulf takes a look at the RPG from Columbia Games called The City is of Harn Part 1, the Lithian module. The man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino's got 5 videos out on John Butterfield's Space Corps. He does an intro, also shows you the Mariners section and the Planeteers A, B, and Starfarers A. And AJ Toynbee of Hexes and Soldiers takes a look at John Butterfield's Battle of the Bulge. I think this is the Shenandoah Studios version. GIMPY! The GIMPY Gamer's got 2 videos out, the first one being the starter kits from Lock and Load Publishing. He shows you 3 starter kits. Also, GIMPY's Gal guesses World at War 85. Mo of Mo's Game Table has a new live broadcast out called Whiskey Charlie, the War Game Chat. Right now, he's on episode 2. I'm co-host with GIMPY, but GIMPY was a little bit late. STUKAJOE was on, Uva, and obviously Mo. And Mo unboxes World at War 85 Storming the Gap from Lock and Load Publishing. Mo is also showing us World at War 85 Storming the Gap expansion pack. Dad vs. Son's got a shellacking's worth of videos. The first one being Illusions of Glory Part 6 in 1916. Also, Command and Colors Napoleonics Messkirch Parts 1 and 2 continues with Illusions of Glory Part 7 still in 1916, and back to Command and Colors Napoleonics with Alenteo 1 and 2 and something different for a few dark stones more. 1, 2, and 3. Rough Swordsman Wargamer continues his playthrough of Panzer Grenadier from Avalanche Press. Also, he's unboxing Warfighter World War II expansion, The Undead expansion, number 42. Combat Board Games takes a look at Moves magazine, looking at the LA Lawless designed by Joe Miranda on the LA riots of 1992. From Moves magazine, number 75. I actually remember those riots. USA Patriot 4162 is taking a look at, actually continuing his strategy and tactics, number 139. The game called Arabian Nightmare, The Kuwait War by Austin Bay. And Jan Heinemann of Let's Play History continues his Viva la Revolution, Tropico 6, number 8, number 9, and also continues the playthrough of Through the Darkest of Times, and continues Unity of Command 2, number 33 and number 34. And the gentlemen of the Player's Aid have a video out on the acceptance speech of being honored Grognard of the Year of 2019. Also, they review Here I Stand, the 500th edition, published by GMT, and also by GMT, they review the game by Mike Denson, The Last 100 Yards. Steve Dolges is taking a look at Nations in Arms, a game published by Compass Games, and he's talking about Game On 2020, a look ahead. The strong man of war games, Rob Orn from Rob's Tabletop World, in his War and Pieces segment talks about the state of wargaming as well as War and Pieces in the future or in 2020. Plus, he talks about his top 10 most complex games, and that's it. And the wargame artist Matt White gives us a review of Ligny and Wavre, 1815, The Empire's Last Victories, designed by Frederick Bay, published by Ludophile Editions. And JK Wargames is playing the video game, or the PC game I should say, a first-person shooter called Postscriptum. the quiet but formidable foe. Jonathan Townsend has a couple of videos out on the game, on the folio game from Decision Games called Leipzig, Napoleon and Circle. And Nick is back after 3 weeks with a video on the complete guide to Line of Battle, video number 7, Orders. Counterproductive Games is setting up turn 1 for World at War 85, Storming the Gap, and he continues for another 4 videos going up to turn 7. Bare Bones Wargaming is taking a look at Battle of the Atlantic, a game designed by Gary Graber and published by One Small Step Games. And Bare Bones also takes a look at Admiral's War, World War II at Sea, a game designed by Brian Herr, published by Canvas Temple Publishing. ASL Scenario Archives are talking about illuminating rounds in their playthrough number 12, and I think the scenario that they're playing is Pegasus Bridge, and they're in their daylight time. Harebrained Games reviews Ava Thompson and Trevor Benjamin's Undaunted Normandy. And Gilbert Collins continues, which I think is his game called War for America, the second tutorial, and he speaks about fleets and blockades. And Kyle Seeley continues his game on Gaines Mill, the Civil War Brigade series. He's at 6 a.m. June 27th. This is a game published by The Gamers, designed by Dean Essig and David Powell.
A game for gamers, made by gamers, by Flying Pig Games.
Nuts Publication and This War Without an Enemy. This is a 2-player strategic block war game on the First English Civil War. The Royalists fight for King Charles against the English parliamentarian troops and their Scottish allies in a struggle for political, economic, and religious control. And what you get with this game is a mounted map board, 84 wooden blocks, a battle map and 52 cards, dice, a sheet of stickers, double-sided setup sheets, a playbook, and a rulebook. Canvas Temple Publishing and Atlantic Wolves, a solitaire game based on the World War II naval campaign. This is a solitaire game based on this important World War II naval campaign. It covers the decisive part of the campaign from August 1942 to May 1943. You play as Admiral Karl Dönitz, who controls the German Kriegsmarine and tries to achieve success against the Allies, played by the game system. So we are playing the bad guys. And what you get with this game is 1 sheet of double-sided counters, a 17 by 22 inch map sheet, a rulebook, player aid cards, and 3 sheets of die-cut 1.5 by 2 playing cards. Worthington Publishing and Crusader Kingdoms, War for the Holy Land, a game on the Crusades for 1 to 4 players with a solitary engine. Fight the Crusades in an hour, solo, cooperative, and competitive. And what you get with this game is a game box with beautiful Crusader art. I don't get it. People are selling game boxes. How else is the game going to come in? A double-sided hard mountain game board, 50 wooden castle pieces, 50 wooden printed garrison pieces, a deck of Muslim cards, Crusader cards, 2 rule books, and 5 custom dice. Chancellorsville, 1863. This is a game designed by Morris Suckling. Each game will come with large mounted game board, Union formation activation cards, Confederate formation activation cards, Union bot activation cards for solitaire play, Confederate bot activation cards for solitaire play, tactic cards, Confederate and Union reinforcement cards, and probably a lot more. Tom Lee is kickstarting Battle of Britain Pocket card game. This is World War II in your pocket. Battle of Britain is a 2-player pocket travel game, and it plays in 30 minutes. Awakening the Bear, 3rd edition, available now. Storms of Steel, 3rd edition, available now. The BFG Con 2020, the Big Frederick Gaming Convention, March 13th to 15th, 2020 in Frederick, Maryland. PressCon 2020, February 24th to March 1st in Charlottesville, Virginia. Consim World Expo Dallas, featuring WarGameClassics.con. March 6th to the 8th, 2020 at the Delta Hotel Dallas, Allen, 777 Waters Creek Boulevard, Allen, Texas. There's gonna be war games, Euro games, special events, flea market tables, exhibitor sales, seminar, and special guest is Mark Herman. In London, England, Cardboard Emperor Strategy and War Games, the 21st to the 22nd of March, 2020, in the main room, Young Chelsea Bridge Club. Breakout 2020, where? In Toronto. When? March 20th to the 22nd, 2020. The premier tabletop gaming convention in Toronto, Canada. GaryCon 12, March 26th to the 29th, 2020 in the Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, USA. This con is named after Gary Gygax, the creator of Dungeons & Dragons. Another week, another show. Thank you to my supporters. Please, if you want to support this, it would be fantastic. It helps pay for stuff like my microphones and new software and things to keep this show going. And the reason why I do this is because you guys actually like this. So thank you very much. And we've got 30 centimeters of snow here. I'm happy and comfy in my basement, in my war game studio, I should say. And again, thank you to my supporters. Thank you for watching. And have a good weekend. I'll see you next week. Ciao. You know what I like? I like finding small companies, small things that belong just to me, so nobody else knows. You know, you see that mushroom? That mushroom's called an Amanita muscaria. Don't eat it. You're gonna die. Really, you're gonna die. I like big companies, where you pay big bucks and you get big boxes, top dollar. Sometimes the big companies won't invest in an idea like this one, Red Menace, The future, World War III in 1950. How cool is that? Well, that's pretty cool. This is not even a company. It's one guy who invested his cash, printed the game, and now we're into the second edition. That's how good this game is. So this is a solitaire game designed by Brent Ward, right? And you gotta put yourself in the mind frame of the people in the 50s with the Cold War, U-2 flying overhead. Where do you think the band U-2 got their name from? Eh? The Russians ever so present because of the propaganda? You know, that's what's cool about it. So in this game, you get an 18-page rulebook, a 7-page scenario book, an 11 by 17 quad-folding dry eraser map where you can dry erase. Plus 150 laser cut counters. First of all, this is what the map looks like. You got a sub in Greenland, you got surface-to-air missiles up in the Arctic, you got a bomber, or interceptor I should say, flying around just checking things out, seeing if everything's cool. And now you have this chart where you have friendly bombers telling you where they're going to take off from, and also friendly interceptors from the US, Canada, and UK. So you see, it's a regular day in 1959. We're ready for anything. I mean, they're not going to attack. Look how ready we are. And then this happens. We got 4 bogeys up in the air. We don't know what they are yet. Roger, sit back, Brian. What up there? Chaos. Chaos. No problem. We've been trained for this day, so we follow the sequence of play. So you draw a random event card, and oh look, it's a Russian sub, and he's shooting a missile. So you have to roll a d6, 5 and over, he attacks. Well, look at that. We got a 6. Now we have to roll a d6 and see what city he bombed. We just started the game. That's first strike capability. So you roll a dice and we get a 6. So 6 is San Francisco. There's San Francisco. And now you have to draw from a pile of atomic bombs and we get number 10. And just like that, 900,000 people vaporized. Worst disaster in war history, and we just begun. Well, now it's tit for tat. You gotta go destroy their cities while protecting yours. And they spawn from different points on the map, and I like this game. I like the fact that you don't know where they're gonna spawn from. Are your planes close by? They're inching closer and closer down. They're gonna take New York, Washington. You know what? And this happens in an hour. It's almost like, you know, a little filler game. It's that easy. Red Menace by Brent Ward. Check it out. It's a great game. If you want to know more about war games, check out my channel, No Enemies Here. Salut!